When I first moved to Japan, I was working as a carpenter, working long hours, coming home late, hungry, wanted something really filling and something easy to make, and I discovered yakimesh, or fried rice. This is my own concoction. It may not be totally Japanese, it was my way of cooking it, and I've added to it over the years, and it is ginger and soy pork fried rice with a fried egg on top. Now that fried egg on top just adds so much because you got the yolk coming out of there, and then you've got rice, you've got chunks of barbecued pork, mushrooms, onions, red bell peppers. Oh, and of course the soy sauce, and I cook it in a sesame seed oil, which just adds that really oriental flavor to it. All right, this is really easy to make. You got these, it's really simple. Let's go in the kitchen and make it right now. All right, so here's some of the ingredients we need to make our fried rice. And then we also are going to add some egg afterwards, but that's a separate thing. So let's go over these ingredients first. What I have here is 1 onion chopped, 1 red bell pepper chopped, 3/4 pound or 340 grams of barbecued pork. This is a Japanese yakibuta, but you could use any kind of barbecued pork or even bacon block. We have here is 6 shiitake mushrooms sliced. If you can't find shiitake mushrooms, although they are pretty popular, you could use the regular champignon mushrooms that you can get in any grocery store. Over here is about a 1-inch piece of ginger root, which has been peeled and chopped. So that's a piece about that big. And as I've shown you before in the cooking club video, you just use the end of a spoon to peel this. It makes it much easier to get all around these little ridges and little bumps and stuff. That makes it much easier. And then you just mince it up. Now what we have here is 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Now you can use an olive oil or any other oil. I like the sesame oil, it just gives it the flavor is a little different. So if you can get sesame oil, use it. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And in here, I've got 1.5 cups of cooked rice. Now you can add more rice. If you want to go more like 2 cups of rice, you want more rice in there, fine. I just like a little bit of heavier other to the rice ratio. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get the oil heated up. So we're going to put that in the fry pan. Bring that up to medium heat. Now, the oil has heated up, just toss in the onion. All right, I want to cook that onion for about 8 to 10 minutes, just get it nicely golden brown, translucent, and then we're going to add more ingredients in there. All right, we'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, that's been about 8 minutes already, and smelling fantastic in here from the cooking of the sesame oil. And also our onions are a little bit brown, a little translucent, they're softened up, great. What we're going to do now is we add in the pork, the mushrooms, and the red bell pepper. And the ginger. There we go. All the ginger, please. Thank you. Okay. Now we just want to stir this around, mix this up, and we're going to cook this for about another 8 to 10 minutes. What we want to do is we want to cook up that pork a bit, cook the ginger, soften up these mushrooms a little bit, same with the red bell pepper, just everything gets cooked a little bit, and then we're going to come back and add in the rice and the soy sauce, and we're done. So I shall see you in about 8 to 10 minutes. Now, here's one of the reasons this was one of my go-to recipes when I was a carpenter, come home late and tired. So easy to make. Sit back between what's cooking, relax, have a glass of wine or a cold beer, and that's the way to cook. All right, so this has been going for about 10 minutes. And see the shiitake mushrooms have been softened up a bit, perfect. I've been flipping and turning this just every once in a while between sips of my wine. So now, in goes the rice. Now I have here sticky Japanese rice. So it comes out like a big chunk like that. But when you add the soy sauce, it'll just break it up nicely. In goes the soy sauce. And then just break that rice in. And all you gotta do is mix and turn, mix and turn, mix and turn until all the rice is mixed in with all the vegetables and the meat and everything. Oh, this is going to be lovely. So what we're going to do now is cook this for about another 10 minutes. And usually what I would do is while I'm cooking this, I would also fry up my eggs. But since it's a demonstration, I'll do that after we've gotten this out of the way. Let that cook 8-10 minutes, just enough to heat up and just a little bit fry some of that rice. After all, it is fried rice. All right, so let's come back in about 8-10 minutes and cook the eggs, and then we're ready for dinner. All right, that's been cooking for about 8 minutes, turning it every once in a while. And you can see underneath here, some of that rice is starting to brown nicely. That is absolutely delicious. That is done, that is ready. Smells great. I can smell the ginger coming off there. What we're gonna do now is, first of all, kill the heat. We're gonna move that out of the way. Throw a lid on to keep the heat in there. And next comes the eggs. So I've got a smaller fry pan here for the eggs. Got a handle out of the way. And what I have here is 2 eggs and 1 tablespoon of that same sesame oil. Now, usually I cook the eggs in butter, and that's fine too. I just like, this is gonna add a little bit more of that sesame oil flavor. So it just depends your liking. You could cook those eggs in olive oil, butter, or sesame oil. Anything's fine. Now, one of the tricks I like to do to make sure the eggs cook evenly, and first let's get that oil heating up. Get the oil heating up, and then I'm gonna put that on a medium-low. Now, one of the tricks to make sure they cook evenly is to pre-crack them. So put them into a bowl. Just put these in here. That way, both eggs go in at the exact same time. They get the same cooking time. Yeah, put the egg in there. All right. Okay, so those are ready to go. Oil is heating up. Gonna put the eggs in. We just let them in there. Beautiful. The other thing is that you always get that white who's kind of going out, the albumin goes out around. You can just kind of push that in a bit if you want. It doesn't really matter in this case, but if you like your eggs really perfectly shaped, you just push that in, hold that in, let it cook a little bit, and you get a more perfectly shaped egg. All right, we're gonna let those cook for about 1 to 1.5 minutes. We just want to see the white starting to firm up, and then flip them just quickly. We don't want to cook those yolks. We want those yolks nice and runny so they drip all over the rice. All right, let's be back in about a minute now. About a minute now. All right, those eggs have been cooking for about 1.5 minutes. Really, the time does depend upon the heat. So just kind of watch the whites. Whites are starting to firm up. Still a little bit wet up top here, but we're gonna flip these over easy. And after we flip them over easy, we only want to cook them for about 15-20 seconds. All right, those will be ready. That rice is ready. Now, usually I would serve this up into a dish or something, but I'm just gonna plop these directly on top here. We're gonna bring this to the table as is, and people are gonna help themselves. 1, 2, look at that. All right, that is ginger and soy pork fried rice with fried eggs on top. Mwah. Enjoy. Now, if you go to the link appearing on the screen, you can get the free printable recipe for ginger and soy pork fried rice with fried egg on our website. So go print out the recipe, have fun making and eating this delicious and easy dish, and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.